Mass Extinction Event is one of the hardest missions in DMZ. It's a tier 5 crown mission and it asks you to kill 15 enemy players in one deployment. That's a huge number. You can do it across your team, so like you could get 7 kills and your teammate gets 8 kills. That's absolutely fine, but it's still a pretty big ask. In this video, I'm going to show you how we did it, and I'm going to kind of explain 4 different ways of doing it with varying levels of cheesiness. So you can decide what you feel comfortable with. There is a very easy way to get this mission done, and there's an incredibly hard way of getting this done, and there's a few different things in between. If you find this video useful, as always, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, turn your notifications on, and let me know in the comments what other missions you'd like to see guides for. So, first of all, you pretty much have to do this on Al Mazrah. Building 21 doesn't have enough players, there's only 12 players, and even Ashika Island only has like 6 teams, so I think that would be 18 players, so you'd be really struggling to kill enough players before some left. Unless they manage to res and stuff like that, that would make it a little bit easier. But I still think Al Mazrah is probably your best bet because there's tons of players there. So you're going to be going to Al Mazrah, and the obvious way to do this is just to do hunt squad contracts. That will show you where enemy players are and go kill them. But it's a little bit more complicated than that. If you were just doing hunt squad contracts, you'll probably run out before you get to 15 players, because that would be 5 full teams, and a lot of the times a hunt squad contract won't show you a full team. But there's a few different little tricks and a few little quirks of the rules to this mission that can make it much easier. The big one is that if one person on your team downs an enemy and then someone else finishes them off, that actually counts as 2 kills. So you can get 2 kills for each player, which means instead of having to kill 15 players, you only actually have to kill 8 as long as you're fairly organized. And that makes things so much easier. So let's go through the 4 different ways you could complete this mission, and then I'll let you know which ones we used to get it done. You could guess now in the comments which ones we used if you didn't watch the stream. I'd be interested to see what people think of us and what people thought that we would do. So the first way and kind of the proper way of doing this is just to kill 15 different players. So you'll be going around doing hunt squad contracts. Do bear in mind there's other ways to find out where players are. If you see UAV towers being activated, SAM sites being activated, strongholds being taken, they all glow red on the map and then you can go find them. Exfils being called in with flares. It's definitely possible that you could kill 15 players. The problem we had when we started doing this was that if you lose one of those fights, so you're going to be getting in lots of fights against lots of different teams, if you lose one of them, you're probably going to be losing all of your armor, your insured weapons, your backpacks, any kill streaks you had, self-revives, and that means you're going to have to do a regain every time this goes wrong. And that's really tough. It means it takes ages, and it meant that this got really frustrating for us doing it this way. The second way is you just killing 8 players, but trying to do this thing where one person downs someone, then the other person kills them. It does require a little bit more organization. It works quite well if one person's sniping and maybe the other 2 people are pushing up a little bit. As soon as a sniper downs someone, they rush in and get the kills. Just requires a lot of communication, but only having to kill 8 players is much easier, because in theory you could do that with 3 hunt squad contracts, which you'll probably be able to find on the map. So that's quite a good technique, and I'm not sure if it really counts as an exploit that each player can count as 2. It feels a bit like it does, but it definitely makes this mission much easier. Then there's a third way you could do this mission that is much crueler. If you find a team, maybe when you're doing a hunt squad contract, and they don't seem very good, like you kill them quite easily, try to only kill 2 of them. If there's 3 of them playing and you kill 2, and then you kind of back off a little bit but keep an eye on them, hopefully they'll resurrect their friends and then you can just kill them again. This way you could keep on killing the same players over and over and over again and get this mission done, just because you're killing people who you know you can beat them in a fight. The big problem with this is that it would be thoroughly miserable for the people that you're killing. That would absolutely suck. Imagine if you're playing and every time you manage to resurrect your friends you think, yeah, we're going to get out this time. They just get downed again because there's another team surrounding you that are completely set up. It would be horrible, and I wouldn't be surprised if you got called a few names and they might even quit because they'd get so fed up with this. Finally, there's the 4th way of doing this, which is definitely the cheesiest and pretty much definitely an exploit. So if there's 3 of you playing, 2 of you can queue up as one team and 1 person queues up as a solo. Make sure you don't have squad fill on or anything like that because you don't want other people messing it up. And if you queue up at the exact same time, there's a decent chance chance in DMZ you'll get into the same game. I don't think there's a massive matchmaking pool, so it seems to happen quite a lot. Essentially, you're like stream sniping people, I guess, but you're trying to get in the same game as your friends. Then if they do that, the one person who's by themselves can just keep on killing someone over and over again, your other teammate will keep on resurrecting you, and you can get all 15 done that way. It's a kind of tedious, slow process, but it will definitely get it done, and it means that you don't have to worry about what other players are doing at all. So as you can see from the footage, we first of all tried the first method of finding 15 different players, but we kept on getting killed. You know, we'd sometimes get like 6-7 players killed, and then we'd get beaten by a team. We ended up getting it with me and Flynn, doing it where one person would down someone and then the other person would kill them, so each enemy player counted as 2. Unfortunately, while we were doing that, one of the fights went wrong and Scotto went down and died. That meant he needed to plead for help to try and stop them from stealing all of his stuff, and they actually accepted him into the team. We went and killed that team, other than Scotto, and then invited him back in, but that meant Scotto hadn't got the credit for those kills, and then when we got to the very last team, just before the final exfil, we went to go do the same thing, down them, and then Flynn could run up and kill him, and the enemy player unfortunately bled out just as Flynn was shooting him to try and finish him off, which meant that one person got all of the credit for the kill, and that meant while me and Flynn had finished the mission, Scotto was left on 14 out of 15 with no other players on the map. So to get him finished for that last one, Scotto was happy with just doing the 4th method, where then me and Flynn went in, we queued up separately, and then Scotto could just kill us over and over and over again and get that mission completed. So that method definitely works. We've tested it. We've done this 2 different ways. I wonder if you were right in the comments or not. But this mission is a real challenge, and I'll be super impressed to see some people completing it solo. I'm sure there'll be people that manage to do it, that manage to kill 15 players by themselves, but that is going to be an incredible thing to watch. So as ever, if you found this video helpful at all, or if you just enjoyed watching it, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, turn your notifications on, and let me know in the comments which missions you're struggling with so I can get guides up for them as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.